Let's for some Leetcode today. So today we have Leetcode 58, that is length of last word. Now we have been given a string in this question and we have to find the length of the last word. And that's it. For example, here we have hello world and the length of this particular word is 5. So we are returning 5 as output. That is the answer. Now understand that the string can have spaces after the last word also. So these spaces are not part of the length. Only the length of this word, the moon, is answer. That's why we are returning 4 here. And it is guaranteed from the question that the string will contain either spaces or simply alphabet. So one of the ways to solve this question is to just start from this direction. Start from the 0th index and just keep on going until we find the last word and we just return its length. We will ignore all these words until the last space and we will simply return the length. But that way will actually be very complicated. Like you will have a lot of if conditions and it's not a very nice way to code it. It's not a pretty code at all. That's why we have another way also. You can start from right to left. So you can start from the end of the string because we need to get the last word, right? If we are supposed to get the last word, we might as well start from the end. So we will start from the 10th position. So we will have D. We will have a res variable that will contain the length and we will increment it by 1 each time we find a character. So I found D. So res was 0 and now res is actually 1. Now we move from 10th position to the next position, that is 9. It contains L, that is an alphabet. So we will again increment the res by 1. It will be 2 now. Then again we move on to the 8th position. It is R. Again we plus 1 equals to 3 now. Again we move from 8 to 7. We see that there is O. We again add 3 plus 1 equals to 4. Then we again move from 7 to 6. We see it is W, that is an alphabet. We plus 1 equals to 5. And now when we try to move again to the 5th position, we see it's a space. Since it is a space, we know that we have gone through the entire last word. So we will end the loop right there. We don't even need to go through the entire string here. So we will simply end the loop and return the 5. Now there are a few edge cases to note. So here in the hello world, we did not have any more spaces after the word itself. But here in this string, we have spaces. These are spaces after moon word. It means what we need to do is we need to just start from the end and we need to keep ignoring spaces until we find the first character. Once we find the character, we will start incrementing the rest. And then if we ever find again a space, we will simply close the loop. So it means we need a way to find out that this particular space is actually after the word has completed. These spaces were before the word, right? We have to deal with them before going through the word. Now we have gone through the word and then this space comes. So we need to find a way that this space is actually different than this space. And how we can do that? Well, we can keep a variable encounter to false in the starting. So when we are starting from this direction, we will get spaces, right? And as we get spaces, we will just keep continuing and ignoring them. And then as soon as we get to this N, the first character of the last word, we will set it to true. And once it has become true, then we will just go through the entire word. And then if we ever again encounter a space, we will check if it is true. If it's true, we will simply close the loop. Now let's go through the code also. First of all, we are declaring the encounter variable false so that we will know whether we have encountered the word or not. Then we have the res variable. It will contain the result. Then we are starting from the end of the string S and we are going through the entire string. Now, if we find any spaces and the encounter is true, that means we have gone through a word, we will simply break the loop. But if we have spaces and we have not encountered any word, we will simply continue. We will ignore the space and continue. Otherwise, it means we have reached a character and we will set the encounter to true and we will add 1 to the rest. And at the end, we will simply return the rest. That will be the answer. Now let us run it and see what happens. So yeah, it runs in 0 milliseconds and beats 100% of the solutions on Leetcode. This number is very questionable because nothing can actually run in 0 milliseconds. And so I will not trust this number too much. We have also passed all the 60 test cases that were given to us. Now let us look at the time and space complexity for this particular solution. So the time complexity will be order of n because we may get a string where we only have one word, one very large word. So in this string, we have a very random big word and that is the only word that is present in the string. So we will end up going through each and every character of the string and that means the entire loop will run n times. That's why we are saying order of n time complexity. And now the space complexity is order of 1 because we are not actually using any extra memory. We don't have any extra array or any extra string. We just have been using the input and we are just running a loop. The only variable we have actually created is encountered variable and that will have the same memory consumption no matter what is the size of S, the given string. So that means this is going to be the fixed memory consumption and fixed simply means constant. And that's why the space complexity is order of 1. So yeah, like the video, subscribe the channel. If you have some kind of question that you would like me to target or you have some kind of topic that you would like me to talk about, just let me know in the